Hey guys, the latest issue of GoClassics is out now. You can pick up a print or digital copy at goclassics.co.uk. You can also check it out in newsagents and stuff like that as well. So let's have a look and see what's inside the latest issue. Let's do that right after this.
So you want something sleek and glamorous, and then check out the Jaguar E-Type featured in our launch issue, alongside many other features such as
buying guides, owner's tips, and even how to buy your own first classic car.
GoClassics is about the cars that you relate to, the cars that you've dreamed of, and the cars that you can own, run, and enjoy. At GoClassics, we'll tell you how.
GoClassics is the most exciting car magazine on the shelves today, and it's out now. And you can get one by heading over to goclassics.co.uk, where you can find some of our fantastic limited time subscription offers.
forget about the boring, the pompous, the self-important. If you want something new, GoClassics!
Okay, so checking out the cover, best buys for 2022. So these are the best classics to get next year. That's a good one, isn't it? Lots of buyer's guides and cool stuff as usual. Checking it out, contents page, packed full of stuff. What's going on. So this is a sort of roundup of events and stuff like that from the world of classics, including the Regent Street show. In fact, I went to that one, and check out my video on that as well. That was a good show actually. Fun starts here, the usual guide and buying a classic, and of course check this out. Somebody has a column in it. That's my column. Shock, electric classics are not evil. Am I crazy? Read it and then let me know what you think. And then you've got this MG Magnet ZA-ZB. I have to be honest, I'm not familiar with that car at all actually, so I might read that up. Cattle Market, Simeon Cattle's column. He's talking about older cars, what they're like to own and run. Canny Classics, so this is it, this is the cover story. I won't show you too much of that quickly because this is 22 cars to buy next year, and this is invaluable info. But there are some surprising, there's some very obvious, like Ferraris and Rolls Royces that you might think are obvious, but there are some unusual ones, like there's some Fords and maybe old Vauxhalls as well, which you might find a little bit surprising in here. So this is absolutely essential read. I think that's well worth checking out. Next up, Subaru Impreza Turbo Buying Guide. These cars are legend, 1994 to 2000, and these are definite classics, definitely going up in price. And if you find a good one of those, unmolested if you can, that would be incredible. If you find an unmolested, unmodified version, that's the holy grail. I don't think you can though, but if you can, that's amazing. And then there are other ones to consider, like the Evo, of course, and the R33 GTR. I think that's probably one of my favorites. Next up, Sporty Hatches. So from Reliance to the Ford Capri, but this feature is fantastic. It goes on because you got the Scirocco in both guises. You got Porsche 944, the Rover SD1. What an awesome car that was! I always fancied that when I was younger. And then it goes on, to Rovers and stuff like that. And then there's a Plan B, so there's even more hatches that you can consider, including things that you may not have done, like the Vauxhall Calibra and the Volvo 480 ES. So fascinating. Lots of great cars to keep in mind there. This is what the press thought of the Jaguar XJ6 at the time that it came out, at the time that it was actually on sale and in production. This is always quite interesting to read, is what people thought at the time. I think classic cars take on quite different verdicts on or quite different opinions on what they're like through the years. Cars are probably judged much more harshly when they're first launched, but through the years, retrospectively, I think you take a kinder, more affectionate look at them. So it's interesting to see what was said about the cars when they first came out. Can an SUV ever become a classic, is the question asked in the next feature. My answer to that is yes, definitely, and there's an example, the Mercedes G-Wagon. But then you've got others like the Wranglers, the Defenders, there's some Daihatsus, Chevy Blazer, so Lada Niva, so yeah, definitely. So that's worth checking out. Alfa Romeo Giulia and GTV, 1962 to 77. They say that all car enthusiasts should own an Alfa at least once. So maybe that's worth checking out, and maybe that might help you get your next car, which could well be an Alfa. And then they're looking at commercial vehicles. That's not a classic. That's modern. That's retro modern, actually. I would like to give that a try, actually. That's quite interesting. I do like these. But anyway, they're looking at things like old Citroen 2CV Camionette, if I pronounce that right, you know, old Ford Anglia vans and stuff like that. Not to mention some of that stuff, which probably some of you will recognize. And then even some trucks. My goodness, including a Bedford truck. Look at that. Check that out. Morris Weiner van, of course. It's got to be everywhere. The Bentley Mulsanne Silver Spirit, 1980 to 1998. There's a guide on that one. So which cars to get, what to look out for, etc., including an owner's view. So that's worth having a look at. And then this is how to sell your classic. How to part ways with your pride and joy. When, where, how, etc., etc. So that's good. BMW 320M Sport. Who says you have to spend bucket loads on a decent classic car? We got this 3 Series Touring up and running for less than £1,500. Oh, I need to check that out. That's interesting. Mod the Mark, that's a great feature. It's about how you can rest-a-mod old cars, if you like. Triumph Herald on this occasion. So stuff where you can fix what to do to fix it, but what to do to actually modify it and improve it. That's always great. What's the best 60s Middle England saloon? I think that's the one right there, the Rover P6 itself. Those were popular with cops and in TV shows at the time. You saw a lot of them. But there's Triumphs 2000s, and other stuff as well. Well worth checking out. Don't Be Frozen Out is a guide to what you should do to look after your car over the winter, especially if you need to use it, which is unusual. I know a lot of people put their classics away for the winter, but you never know. Some people do. Some hardy souls do. Wise up to winter. So more tips on what to do to look after your car. Includes modern classics, of course. Vauxhall Viscount, an owner's view of owning that car. That's a pretty elegant thing. And look at this, the Hillman Avenger. How this big Hillman Avenger became the Americanized Anglo-French team effort that ultimately appealed to nobody in particular 50 years ago. But it's a handsome car though, isn't it? It's so American though, isn't it? You can imagine that in the 70s, maybe a Dirty Harry movie or something like that. You can definitely see that, can't you? More great columns, including Jeff's column. I always enjoy reading that one. That's well worth checking out. And then we're coming towards the end of the mag. There's a look at a specialist supplier. In this case, it's a Citroen specialist. So that's important, especially when you get your hydraulic suspension support sorted out, I suppose. And then in the dock, guilty or not, you be the judge, is the Volkswagen Camper. What do you reckon? Guilty or not? Not. Come on. And looking ahead to next issue, Top Trumps. Oh, cool. Make it a Mazda MX-5 buying guide, Lotus Elan, etc., etc. That's gold, looking cool. Check it out in the shops now. Also, just head over to GoClassics.co.uk. You can download it and read it now on your phone, tablet, whatever. Do it. Let me know what you think.
So, you want something sleek and glamorous, and then check out the Jaguar E-Type featured in our launch issue, alongside many other features such as
buying guides, owner's tips, and even how to buy your own first classic car.
GoClassics is about the cars that you relate to, the cars that you've dreamed of, and the cars that you can own, run, and enjoy. At GoClassics, we'll tell you how.
GoClassics is the most exciting car magazine on the shelves today, and it's out now. And you can get one by heading over to GoClassics.co.uk, where you can find some of our fantastic limited time subscription offers.
forget about the boring, the pompous, the self-important. If you want something new,
GoClassics!